The C-SPAN networks bring you long-form public affairs programming from the nation's capital and are a public service of your television provider. C-SPAN, created by cable.
And you're watching the Communicators on C-SPAN. This week, a look at some new technology sponsored by the Consumer Electronics Association. Several companies are up on Capitol Hill displaying some of their wares to members of Congress and their staffs. And there's new software on the market. It's called Phone to Action Inc. Jimena Hartsock, what was the issue that caused Phone to Action to become in?
So I was trying to advocate for different causes. I was the national director of outreach of an education organization that it was national. And what I found is that we didn't have the tools available for people, for them to make it, that made it easy for people to connect with their elected officials. So at the time, I asked a lot of people for help, developers, and I went to some meetups in technology, and eventually I found someone who understood the problem and helped me to put together the technology to solve it. And that is my current co-founder, Jeb Orey.
What were you trying to solve? How were you trying to connect people?
So people care about issues. Everyone does. People may be busy. And they may not be able to physically attend to events or to visit the legislator, but it doesn't mean that people do not care. People want to hear, want to tell the legislators how they feel about a variety of issues. And legislators also want to hear from people. If they hear from their constituents, if they hear from people that live in their districts, they'll listen. And so at the time, I was trying to connect people that care about education issues to connect with the legislators and tell them how they feel about their schools. And it was very hard to do. So today, for example, some of our campaigns deal with education issues, but others deal with issues like the Startup Act 3.0, which is actually one of the campaigns we have that is on immigration. So people care about a variety of issues, and what we did is create technology to connect people with their elected officials.
Jeb Orey is the software developer. Is that fair to say?
I help commercialize the technology.
Okay. Well, walk us through this technology. Jimena was describing the problem or the issue to be addressed. What was your role?
So Jimena came to me after she talked to lots of other people. We had a mutual friend, and she said, I have this problem. I'm trying to make it easy for people that believe in our issue to let their elected officials know. I said, okay, let me see what I can do. So we determined that, yes, we actually can build something. And then I wanted to spend some time determining if there was a business. So we spent a few months where we were interviewing people, trying to figure out if there was a business opportunity around this. And we realized that Jimena's problem was just the outer cusp of a solution that we could solve. So Jimena wanted to find an easier way to allow for people that supported her cause to email elected officials. And then what we ended up doing was building a platform that makes it easy for people to, or organizations or candidates, any kind of campaign, to reach out and connect with supporters and allow them to have kind of a whole toolbox that they can use to engage their membership, their supporters, all the way along the engagement pyramid, moving people from, kind of interested into a cause to being active and engaged.
So Jimena's group can send an alert to people if there's legislation that they're interested in?
Well, they were using solutions that didn't work on mobile. So Jimena came and we talked about this, and we ended up leaving everything that we were doing because what we are doing is so innovative from a technology standpoint. And the reason that we're able to innovate is because we're coming in with fresh eyes. Now, I have a background in mobile technology, but what we're able to do is look at the existing systems, and we know why they don't work because they're not talking to other systems. So we've been able to integrate many different APIs, which are technology that talks to each other, to make something that works on mobile devices, which are becoming ubiquitous in our society. So we took something that was really hard. It used to be a 20-step process down to 5 steps. And we built other tools to work around that to help organizations and campaigns move their issues across the goal line and be able to advance their causes.
We acknowledge that the world has changed, and that people today are as interested as they have always been for issues, but their behavior is different. So, for example, this is 2005 pop induction. This is 2013 pop induction. You see the number of mobile devices up on a very organic picture that tells you that the world is mobile. So what we do is we mobilize causes.
Now, you're wearing this button, text jobs to 52886.
Yes.
What is this? Do you have to be part of Phone to Action?
No. So this is actually a campaign that the Consumer Electronics Association has put together to support the Startup Act 3.0 that it was introduced by Senator Warner, who is my senator, and Senator Moran from Kansas, and a few others. And it's a bipartisan legislation that, among a variety of things, keep talent from other countries that are interested in staying in the United States, creating and innovating, keeps them here. So people like me that will normally have a lot of trouble staying, Startup Act 3.0 keep them here. So this campaign is actually sponsored by CEA. CEA is our client. And it's really great because we have technology that not only helps to move causes, but this is particularly a cause that we deeply care about.
Now, Jimena Hartzog, do you come from a political point of view if people want to join Phone to Action?
So people don't join really Phone to Action because we actually serve the people. So we join people's causes. We are in the business of amplifying the voices of everyone to be heard.
Jeb Borey, anything you want to add?
No, I think that's it. Our clients are organizations and campaigns, and we help move the ball across the goal line for our clients with technology that has not existed until today.
And we're here at CEA on the Hill, talking to the developers and founders of Phone to Action, Inc. We're joined by Kevin Strong of the Future Dash Corporation. Mr. Strong, show us what you're exhibiting here.
Sure, absolutely. So we're a startup based in Southern California. We have a product which we call Energy Buddy. It's
this right here.
Well, actually, the heart of the system is this thing here. So it's a system of hardware and software that helps you monitor and manage your electricity usage at home. So there's a basic kit that you can install which includes this, which is the kind of the brains of the system. You install that on your home network, and then you can get the real-time information for your whole house one of two ways. Either you can install this at your main electrical panel, which is pretty easy, or in areas where they have already rolled out smart meters as part of the smart grid, we can get the data directly in real-time from those smart meters. So there's two ways to do that.
All right, so that's the technology portion. What are we looking at here display-wise?
So then once you have that installed, then you can look at the real-time data, and it starts to gather the real-time data, and then it will present statistics for you via our software. And the software comes in a couple of different ways. You can look at it in a browser. In this case, we're looking at it in a browser on a tablet. Or you can look at it with a specific mobile app. So this is an iPad app specifically for the product. So it gives you the real-time information. It can give you some cost information. And then
does this tell us, Mr. Strong, that so far today we've spent $2.37 on electricity?
Yes, it does, yeah. So actually this data is coming live from my house in California. So it tells me that I've actually used 8 kilowatts of energy, 8 kilowatt hours of energy today.
Now, how is it that you're plugged in here with the Energy Buddy here on Capitol Hill, but we're seeing what you're doing in California?
Okay, well this is just the demo unit, the actual physical hardware. So this is talking to real hardware.
This is connected back to your house. Okay, so this is legit.
This is legit.
Now, what are these sensors?
So this is an optional add-on. So you plug these into the wall wherever you like around the house, and you plug whatever you like into them. It could be, your washer, your dryer. It could be a lamp that you want to turn on and off, or it could be a whole power strip so you can monitor all of your home office or your AV system at home. And then you can monitor and control whatever is on that circuit. So here on my system at home, I've actually got 3 lamps plugged in. 2 of them are actually switched on right now. And you can then actually turn those off. Sometimes it takes a while to respond.
Right.
You can actually see this number change.
Okay, so this went, if you'll turn that on and we'll watch the number change this time.
It hasn't actually changed yet, I don't think.
Okay. I think
it takes about 10 seconds. Oh, it did?
I think it did, yeah. It was up at 8:02.
This transmits about every 10 seconds. There we go, it went down.
Okay.
And you also see that it went down about $2 a day. So if I left those lamps on, those would cost me $2 a day. Now, admittedly, those are old incandescent lamps, and I do use those just for the demo, just for more of an effect. But
now, if somebody at your home turned on your washing machine right now, what would we see this rise to?
You'd see that jump up. Particularly sometimes, like when I'm doing demos, and I see it jump up to like 4 or 5 kilowatts or 6 kilowatts. I know my wife is using the oven at home. Sometimes then I call her and say, well, what's in the oven? You know, like, something good?
So, Kevin Strong, is this product on the market right now?
It'll be available in a few months' time.
Who developed it?
We are the developers of the product.
Who's
We're a
we?
small startup. The founder, we have a team of developers that work with our founder. But we're a pretty small company, but we've developed that whole product ourselves.
What's the founder's background? What is he, an engineer?
He's a software guru. He's a software. My background is actually more on the hardware side, although I've been doing it on the business for a long time. So we kind of complement each other in that respect.
What's the benefit of being up here on Capitol Hill to show this to members of Congress?
It's great exposure. We're a small startup. You know, we're always looking for exposure to help us get the message out about our product. Certainly, you know, saving energy is a big topic in public policy. We also have some more sophisticated features we response that enable demand response, which is the ability to automatically turn things off when the utility sends a signal.
Energy Buddy is the name of the company, energybuddy.com.
Future Dash is the name of the company.
Future Dash,
Energy
sorry
Buddy
about
is
that.
the name of the product.
FutureDash.com, Kevin Strong, Tustin, California.
Thank you very much.
And joining us up here on Capitol Hill at CES on the Hill is Congressman Darrell Issa, who serves as chair of the Government Oversight and Reform Committee. Congressman Issa, what brings you to this display?
Well, for me, this is a family reunion. I was chairman of this association many years ago, and continue to find the products that bring delight to so many people as really a plus for our economy. You know, we're a consumer economy, but what is it we consume? We consume and generate and develop more consumer products, whether it's watching live television, literally live television that would otherwise be through an antenna on your iPad, or Microsoft's latest offerings. This is a great opportunity to see a mini CES. You don't get it this easy. Under our ethics rules, it's hard to go to Las Vegas, even though I would say 2 million square feet of this is even more exciting.
Congressman, if you would put on your congressional hat for a minute, when you see the Aereo technology, there's some issues, some court cases involved with that. Do you see Congress getting involved? Another thing is some of the healthcare apps and technologies that they have here. Do you see those getting Medicare reimbursement? I mean, how does that play into this whole thing?
Well, one of the delightful things about consumer electronics is they drive down the price to where, to be honest, Medicare getting involved in reimbursement may not be necessary. They're bringing something to regular affordability. No seniors expecting their iPhone to be financed as part of their health care, and yet many, if not most seniors now have a smartphone. I think in the case of the Aereo technology, the court spoke pretty loudly in Sony Betamax case about the ability to time shift, the right of a consumer. The real question is doesn't everybody win when a live broadcast, including its commercials, are made available to a broader audience? It can, in fact, potentially be a win-win. If anything, it would be great if the cable offerings were added to it. Again, with their full and complete advertising, you know, one of the great questions is, if I want to cache my recording and watch it on Slingbox, the court's pretty well ruled that it's mine to do. It's not a rebroadcast. If I pay a service to do it, Congress and the courts are going to have to consider it, but it's likely that they're going to consider that personal right to be consistent with the Supreme Court case in Sony Betamax.
How do you feel about Congress's understanding in general of Silicon Valley, of new technology, of some of these products?
You know, one of the challenges is we're in the business of making laws, and laws are often difficult to write in the face of technology. Even within the government, if you will, the big data, we're the largest data producer in consumer, and yet we have some of the least structured, least readable data. So we have two problems. One is understanding what the rest of the world is doing. Secondly, and more importantly, making sure that there's a world-class efficiency and availability to the American people of what the federal government is doing. They're both pretty vexing to people who don't work in technology every day.
Congressman Darrell Issa, Chair of the Government Oversight and Reform Committee here on CES on the Hill. We appreciate your time. And now on the Communicators, we're talking with Yuri Kozychuk of the Intel Corporation up here on Capitol Hill. Mr. Kozychuk, why is Intel here? What are you demonstrating for members of Congress and their staffs?
We're demonstrating the technology that we're driving the Intel perceptual computing, which is ability for computer, the brain, to understand the human world much like we do. So we're trying to give the computer the eyes. When we see each other, we might not recognize each other by name next time, but we will definitely remember that, hey, I saw him somewhere. So now the computer has the ability to do that, except utilize the memory and remember you for who you are.
Are you saying no more passwords?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay, if you demonstrate for us.
So in this case, this is my machine, right? And if I'm just gonna go ahead and log off, sign out.
Okay.
I'm at the login screen. There are 3 different users. If I'm going to point the machine to my face, hello. Might take a while because of the lighting. Give me a second.
And what is it doing? Is it looking at your facial features
at my
and
facial
recognizing
features.
you?
It's looking for the shoulder to head movement to figure out that I'm actually a human being rather than a picture. Because if I'm going to hold up a picture, it's going to say I'm testing for a photo, start moving your head and shoulders, because it wants to know that I'm not actually a machine or anything.
So it signed you on.
So it signed me on, it signed me into my account, and unfortunately right now we don't have the intranet capabilities, but the software doesn't stop there. The software allows you now to go ahead and log into your Facebook, to your Gmail, to any website that you want with your face. You're no longer limited to typing in the password. And unlike the current scenarios for remembering the password where it fills out the field and you just need to click enter, in this case it actually leaves the fields blank and it just looks for your face. Your face is not there, it's not going to give it away.
How have you addressed the potential security concerns people might have?
The security right now, we're considering this a 10-character equivalent password. So if you set it up, it's going to be as good as your 10-character password. At the same time, you can set up the settings to be a parental control settings where, for example, you step away from the machine recognizes that you, specifically you, not anybody else, but you, are not in front of the machine for more than a certain amount of time that you specified, the machine is going to log you off. If the machine is going to be set for the user switching, you can safely pass the machine to someone else. The machine is going to recognize that, hey, that's another user. It's going to log you off, log them in. That's, if you have a kid, your kid is not going to be able to anymore send the emails to your boss or check your emails while pretending to be playing Angry Birds or whatnot, right?
Yuri, have you tested this with video, the video recognition?
Yes, we've tested it with video, and right now it's as stable as it's going to get. Now, that being said, what Intel is doing is we're working on the depth technology camera, where now the camera can also understand the depth. Not only stop at the 720p, but also has the depth, and it can understand where your nose begins, where your ear ends, and with that, no amount of video is going to save you from trying to log in, because you're not gonna, unless you're going to create a video structure of yourself where it's gonna be a full human-like head statue, you're just gonna be out of luck.
Yuri Kozychuk, are these products on the market right now?
These products are on the market. The Fast Access is available in the Intel App Store. The camera is available for the developers only currently. The SDK is on the Intel website for free, and the camera is available on the website as well.
With regard to the Fast Access, can people take their own laptops or tablets and download that app and start using that?
As long as they have webcam, they can start using it today.
Yuri Kozachek, Chuck, with Intel Corporation. Well, also up on Capitol Hill, Verizon is displaying some new wares. Ben Jemski is with Verizon. Mr. Jemski, what are you showing off here to members of Congress?
Yes, we got two devices. Our first device here is the Golden Eye. It's a collaboration between Verizon, Panasonic, and Kopin. And basically it's a mobile headset for different verticals such as healthcare, firefighting, mechanical spaces, and take the idea of any industry that would need a laptop or tablet or mobile device that could enhance the work process and put it into a heads-up display. So this is a heads-up display, goes right in the head, and all over voice command, you're able to aggregate different things. So if you're in the case of public safety, you could pull down live cameras from an existing facility, so that you could take one officer looking at 20 cameras and be able to spread those camera feeds to your officers in the field. In case of firefighting, we created a prototype here, which you'll see on a bunch of the Powerful Answers commercial, where the firefighters are able to send and receive information right from their helmet. So
there's a heads-up display in this helmet.
There's a display right for the firefighters, so that the command is able to send updated floor plans, different stuff like that, and then firefighters are able to, the command is also able to see real-time what's happening inside the building. So we're not just relying on audio communication over the radio. We're able to see real-time what's happening inside the building.
Is this a new venture for Verizon to branch into?
Yeah, so we're trying to get into non-traditional devices. So the handset market's there. We're also trying to, that's the function of the Innovation Center is to do non-traditional devices. Right on 4G, 3G, 1X, device that you don't see in the everyday use, but certainly enhance different verticals.
So when we hear about Google Glasses or other heads-up displays, is this similar?
Yep, very similar. Yep.
What kind of technology goes into this?
So where we go into play is the connectivity portion of it. So all these devices are, created with these manufacturers, and they have these, startups, but they want the connectivity. Well, a lot of time it runs on Wi-Fi, but that's certainly located to a particular building and, your local AP. With 4G, 3G, you're able to always have connectivity really anywhere in the contiguous U.S. So we're able to provide that connectivity and that bandwidth speeds. So a lot of times with 4G, you're able to get those speeds to be able to stream high-definition video, audio, and stuff like that.
Ben Jemski, why did you come to CES on the Hill? Why is it important to show this to members of Congress?
Just wanted to continue to spread the word. We're adding what we showcased at CES this year in Las Vegas and show that Verizon is into non-traditional devices and in more of the innovation sector.
What else are you showing off here?
So we've got a collaboration with Verizon and BAM Labs, and this is a mat that would sit inside the home or healthcare environment. And it takes the idea if you've got a nurse that's going to be going around her rounds every 20 minutes or so, or a visiting nurse that would come into the home 1 or 2 times a day, this mat is going to take the place of that. Okay. So this mat is able to monitor many different biometrics. One specifically, it's able to measure pulse, so that the nurse is able to see real time every events. If the patient rolls over in bed, if the patient gets up at night. Those are events that somebody would have to be physically in the home to.
So
notice.
Angela's now sitting on the map, or the mat. What's being sent? Is it going to a cloud?
So the mat is being sent it's going USB to the little box down there, the plug computer, and the plug computer is sending it up to the cloud, where the doctor or healthcare provider is able to see it real time on their mobile device, whether it's iPad, iPhone, or certainly a laptop, nurse station, and you can see all the different events that. Has happened. So the patient comes in and out of bed.
If you could show that, hold that up just a minute for the camera. And what are we seeing? Out of bed alert, in bed alert?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's go back one. So all the different alerts for the different patients. So that happens to be event alert. After she sits there for a matter of time, it's going to pull down pulse. So the doctor can say, at 1 a.m. the pulse rose and the patient got out of bed. Well, that's an anomaly that they really want to look into. That's going to be something that's missed if the nurse doesn't happen to be seeing it. So, pretty neat device.
Where are you based?
Waltham, Massachusetts.
And how long have you been with Verizon?
2.5 years now.
What's your background that you would be working on products like this?
Engineering. Went to Northeastern University. So we do everything from engineering to IT. It's a lot of the backgrounds for all the engineers that are pretty vast. We work on all these products. So
Ben Jemski is with Verizon. Verizon is on Capitol Hill, showing off some of its new wares. And BlackBerry is also on display here at CES on Capitol Hill. John Noble is with BlackBerry. Mr. Noble, what are you showing to members of Congress here?
Well, what we're showing is our new BlackBerry Z10, which is the latest and most updated model BlackBerry device based on our new operating system, BlackBerry 10.
Is it separate from Android or iOS or Microsoft?
Yes.
It's your own operating
system.
system.
It's our own operating system. It's proprietary. It's a real-time multitasking operating system. So basically it's designed for multiple applications to be running at once. It's based on a company we acquired a couple years ago called QNX, which is an embedded systems software company. So anything mission critical that needs to run constantly, basically that's the foundation of BlackBerry 10. It's also held true to the 3 core principles we do, which is messaging, security, and a really easy, fast typing experience.
When it comes to government and security, et cetera, is BlackBerry still the leader as far as contracts go across the federal government?
I believe so. I think you'll find BlackBerry in almost every government agency, and nobody does mobile security and mobile solutions out of the box end to end as well as we do.
All right.
So you'll still see BlackBerry as a very large presence in the federal government.
Why don't you show us what you got here?
Okay, so this is the device. This is the culmination of 2 years of work to develop a completely new device from the ground up. Something that kind of integrates a consumer experience but holds true to our core principles and our core talents being messaging, security, and an excellent typing experience. So you can see there's no buttons on the device except the volume control and a sleep button on top. Just a simple gesture wakes the device up, and I'm in my BlackBerry Hub. The BlackBerry Hub is one of our innovations where basically all messaging is done in one location and all notifications come from one location. And it can be managed in one location. So I have Facebook, my work email, my personal email, all text messages, all in one location. All responses can be made from there. You can actually design it however you want. It's up to you, but I have a lot of information in there, and I like the fact that it's in one place. You can even page down. Oh, sorry about that.
I'm excited. Which one do you want to check it out? I want
If you page down on the device, you'll see your next calendar meetings, and actually you can go right into your calendar from that location. You can see who's attending those meetings, and you can see any emails associated with those meetings. So all from one location. You share in all the applications, and that's how it's designed. It's designed that all the applications can work at one time and share into each other, as opposed to going in and out of applications.
Why are you up here on Capitol Hill? What's the importance?
The importance is Capitol Hill Senate is a core customer of ours. There's thousands of devices up here, and we want them to upgrade to the new operating system. We have a new innovation called BlackBerry Balance that gives you a dual persona on the device. It gives you kind of a fun side and a work side, and I'll show you a little bit about that. If I go back to the main screen, you can see if I pull down on it, I can go right into my personal persona, which has all my applications, social networking, games, things like that in one place. These two are completely separate and secure. Never the two shall meet. You can't even copy and paste email messages between a Gmail account and your work account. I can go back into my work perimeter, and you'll see I have a separate app world. I have a separate browser. And this is all completely managed by our IT team. So this is all secure and locked down. But one of the complaints from people about BlackBerry devices is it's only for work. There's only one persona on the device. So we have this innovation called BlackBerry Balance to give users a fun side and a serious side. Work life and personal life partitioned.
Anything else on this phone you want to show us?
Just something we call BlackBerry Peek. From anywhere in any application in the device, if you just slide up, you can always see what kind of messaging or notifications are coming in.
Off to the left.
Off to the left. And then if you want to look into it, you just slide over to the right. That's again because there's no home button. So it's all gesture based. And it's very easy, very fluid. It might be a little learning curve for people used to the older BlackBerries, but believe me, it's simple and intuitive, and it's fast.
John Noble of BlackBerry, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
C-SPAN, created by America's cable companies in 1979. Brought to you as a public service by your television provider.